People often joke about videos that show wild police chases or dramatic arrest footage as being examples of GTA in the real world. Scenes that are so bizarre that they appear straight out of the Grand Theft Auto universe, where you have invincibility cheat codes and crimes carry no real consequences. The comparison is often made jokingly, but believe it or not, there was one occasion where something like GTA IRL actually happened.
The wild chase playing out on live television. Ryan Stone carjacking multiple victims.
And the man accused of leading a chase across 5 counties is in court.
If you type in Grand Theft Auto on YouTube, my shit comes up first.
In March of 2014, a hardened criminal went on a 90-minute crime spree around the Denver, Colorado area. From a kidnapping to carjackings to hitting a state trooper at 96 miles an hour, this dude did it all and seemed untouchable while in the commission of his crimes. And when he was finally taken into custody, he would go on to brag about how rich and famous being the man that did Grand Theft Auto in real life would make him.
Hey, did you know I made the news in the UK and Australia?
This is the story of the guy that did GTA IRL, the destructive deeds of a criminal named Ryan Stone. Before we get started, I want to give a big thanks to Warby Parker for hooking your boy up with a new set of glasses. Another fine addition to the collection. Warby Parker is committed to providing exceptional vision care online and in stores, offering eyeglasses, sunglasses, eye exams, and contact lenses. And their glasses start at just $95. Warby Parker is unique in that their try-at-home program allows you to try on 5 sample frames at home before making a purchase. Simply take their online quiz that gauges your face structure and style preferences, pick 5 samples that you like, and they'll be at your front door in days. I really enjoyed having options here and being able to take my time trying on the frames in the comfort of my own home. Out of the 5 samples that I got, I went with the Braswell Heritage Bronze frames. I've never been a square frame glasses kind of guy, but I really like these. They somehow make my square ass looking head somehow seem less square, if that makes any sense. Definitely recommend these. Warby Parker is easy. Just get you some free samples sent out, try them on, mail them back, and then make your purchase. It's as easy as that. So try Warby Parker's free home try-on program. Order 5 pairs of glasses to try at home for free for 5 days. Ships for free and includes a prepaid return label. Click my link, that's warbyparker.com/wavy, to try 5 pairs of glasses at home for free. On YouTube, you'll find many videos which feature the same car chase with titles along the lines of "Guy thinks he's in Grand Theft Auto" or "Grand Theft Auto in real life." The chase has become the stuff of legend in the online world and is one of the most viewed police chases of all time. And with that said, before doing a play-by-play of the car chase itself, I'd like to introduce you to the man behind it. Meet Ryan Stone. Ryan Stone was 28 years old at the time of the GTA car chase and had a criminal rap sheet going back over a decade. Ryan had been in and out of jail and on and off of probation for most of his adult life. Some reports claim that since turning 18 in 2003, Ryan Stone had been arrested every year with the exception of 2010 and 2013. A brief look at some of the charges attributed to Ryan Stone on the Colorado Court Records Search website helps illustrate the sort of individual we're dealing with here. Possession of controlled substances, criminal mischief resulting in damages of $500 to $15,000, driving without a license, driving without vehicle registration, driving while under the influence, motor vehicle theft, menacing, felon in possession of a weapon, assault of a custody officer. And that's just a small sampling. The man's got a lengthy record. Which brings us to the months leading up to the infamous GTA-style car chase in 2014. What exactly was Mr. Ryan Stone up to around this time? Well, in October of 2013, Ryan was released from prison after serving 4 years for a drug conviction, and he almost immediately fell back into trouble. In February of 2014, Ryan already had a warrant out for his arrest after allegedly being in possession of methamphetamine. It's been reported that he was addicted to meth at the time, and narcotics agents had been watching his house under suspicion that he was dealing drugs. Just months after getting out of prison, Ryan was a wanted man and allegedly hooked on meth. Essentially a walking powder keg, and that powder keg would blow on March 12th of 2014. As on this day, Ryan would put all of his previous criminal activity to shame with what could be described as a psychopathic rampage across Denver. This was the day of GTA IRL. The genesis of this infamous car chase all begins about 40 miles north of Denver in Longmont, Colorado. It's a frigid Wednesday morning and many are making the cold commute to work. At approximately 6:20 a.m., Martha Rodriguez pulls her red Ford Edge SUV into the parking lot of a Bradley's convenience store located on 17th and Main Street. Planning to make a quick in-and-out trip to the store for coffee, Martha leaves her car running and heads inside. But little does she know she's being watched. Inside of the Bradley's convenience store was none other than Ryan Stone. Stone had been hanging out inside of the store sipping on coffee as he noticed the unattended SUV idling away in the parking lot. His criminal urges take over, and as Martha Rodriguez is entering the store, Ryan is exiting, heading straight for that red unattended SUV. The door, unlocked, pops right open for Ryan. He hops right on in, and for the next hour and a half, the Denver area was in for a show. Now in possession of a stolen vehicle, Ryan whips the Ford Edge out of Bradley's and hits the road. But he quickly finds the roar of the engine being drowned out by a sound coming from the back seat. That sound was the crying of Martha Rodriguez's 4-year-old son, Alan Rodriguez. In the process of making away with the vehicle, Ryan had inadvertently kidnapped a little boy. Despite there being a 4-year-old boy in the car, Ryan continues on with his high-speed getaway. Meanwhile, Martha Rodriguez, realizing what had happened, makes a panicked 911 call, prompting a police manhunt for the driver of a stolen red Ford Edge. And not long after, a Colorado state trooper spots Ryan in the stolen vehicle heading southbound on Interstate 25, beginning a high-speed pursuit. Police from all surrounding areas begin joining the chase, and helicopters provide the first visuals of what would prove to be an unbelievable display of criminality. Already responsible for a carjacking and a kidnapping, Ryan Stone decides to commit his next crime. After merging onto I-76 in Denver, Ryan maneuvers aggressively in front of this gold van. He then hops out of the SUV, thankfully leaving 4-year-old Alan behind, but then promptly goes up to the van, yanks its driver out, and carjacks this person. It's a continuation of a mind-boggling crime spree. Ryan then heads southbound on the E470 toll road, and that's when State Trooper Bellaman He enters the path of this deranged maniac. Trooper He was setting up a spike strip in the hopes of disabling Stone's stolen van, only for Ryan to dodge the strip and strike Trooper He, causing serious injury to his legs and feet, critically injuring him in the process. After striking Officer He and some failed carjacking attempts, Ryan was desperate to get a new set of wheels. That's when he targets the silver Toyota sedan driven by Zune Wharton. Ryan rams the stolen gold van into Mrs. Wharton's car. Wharton, thinking that she's dealing with a routine car accident, pulls over, likely expecting to exchange insurance with the guy. And as you can see here, Ryan, the hardened criminal that he is, has the disturbing presence of mind to gesture like he's mad about the van being damaged, as to sell the idea to Miss Wharton that this is a normal car accident and not a carjacking attempt. She lets him get too close, falls for it, and gets thrown out of her car, and Ryan's back on the road in a new set of wheels. But not for long. As just moments after this, Ryan takes a massive gamble and attempts to run a red light at a busy intersection. This is where his luck runs out, as when he's speeding through the intersection, he T-bones a 2008 Camry, leaving his vehicle incapacitated. Police box him in, and Ryan, left with no other options, runs from them on foot. But he doesn't make it far. After running behind a nearby business, he attempts to flee into the wilderness but finds a tall fence blocking his path. Unable to clear it, Ryan Stone, after nearly 90 minutes of insane criminal activity, finally surrenders and is taken into police custody. Police would take Ryan to the hospital to be treated for a possible drug overdose. Toxicology reports indicate that Ryan had methamphetamine, marijuana, and lorazepam in his system. After being treated at the hospital, he was jailed and awaited charges. Damage report. Thankfully, 4-year-old Alan Rodriguez was unharmed during the chase. The drivers and passengers of the 2 additional carjacked vehicles suffered only minor injuries. Miraculously, Stacy Rader, the driver of the vehicle that was T-boned by Ryan near the end of the chase, was uninjured by the violent collision. Trooper He wasn't as lucky. He was seriously injured when Ryan hit him and had to undergo multiple emergency surgeries. Thankfully, in time, the trooper made a full recovery and would eventually return to his position. It was truly miraculous that nobody died during this police chase, but many were traumatized and a mountain of damages were created. The community wanted Ryan to pay. Meanwhile, in the days following the arrest of Ryan Stone, footage from the police chase began going viral on the internet. Ryan's systematic series of carjackings was quite the sight to behold. People had seen police chases before, but for a guy to go from car to car the way he did, it was truly a uniquely sociopathic display. It just seemed so improbable, almost like something you would see in a TV show or a movie, or I don't know, maybe a video game like Grand Theft Auto. And that's when you started to see people online sort of praise Ryan as this twisted, heroic figure, the guy that did the impossible and did Grand Theft Auto in real life. And the online fame would get to Ryan's head.
Hey, did you know I made the news in the UK and Australia?
If you thought that Ryan would be outwardly remorseful following this event, you would be wrong. In this now infamous jail phone call, Ryan candidly speaks to a friend where he seems to revel in the idea that folks were praising him as being the guy that did Grand Theft Auto in real life, bragging about how famous it made him and how it might make him a rich man one day.
You know, what's crazy is like, when did they decide that it was worth chasing me? Where did the logic come in chasing me? Past a certain point. You know what I mean? Like, you are endangering how many lives just in you guys chasing me? You know what I mean? Like, where is the logic? If you type in Grand Theft Auto on YouTube, my shit comes up first.
You're ridiculous. How do you even manage? How do you manage that?
I made the news in the UK and Australia. I know it's nothing to laugh about, but I mean, like, it's like, who else do you know that's made the news in Australia, bro? So if I Google, like, I told him, well, if it makes 1 million hits, you get paid by YouTube. So, Channel 7 News, I believe, is going to be the one that gets paid for that. Well, I'm going to contact Channel 7 News, or have you contact Channel 7 News or somebody, a lawyer. Tell them, hey, look, I want to get paid. You guys aren't getting paid using my name and my video footage as my evidence, and I'm not getting paid. I'm getting paid.
The man is facing a mountain of charges, traumatized numerous individuals, kidnapped a 4-year-old, and almost killed a police officer. And all that's on his mind is getting out and like copyright striking or copyright claiming videos that show his car chase. You gotta love the priorities here.
You get paid by YouTube.
Priority number 1 for state prosecutors was locking Ryan up for as long as possible, and he was hit with a plethora of charges related to his March 12th mayhem. 26 charges in total. In court, Ryan's defense initially tried to argue that his crimes were fueled by a methamphetamine-induced state of psychosis, essentially suggesting that meth had created a delusional state within Ryan and he didn't have control of himself when committing these crimes. However, the preceding judge struck the defense's motion and forbade Ryan and his attorney from using drug intoxication as a defense. There wasn't going to be an easy way out of this one. The phone call in which Ryan boasted about his crime was used extensively by the prosecution in the case. It was probably difficult for the defense to argue that Ryan was remorseful for what he did when you had this thing floating around.
If you type in Grand Theft Auto on YouTube, my shit comes up first.
After a long and emotional trial, in 2015, Ryan was eventually found guilty and convicted of committing 11 felonies. His felonies were as follows: 1 count of attempted manslaughter, 1 count of first-degree assault, 1 count of leaving the scene of an accident involving serious bodily injury, 2 counts of robbery, 1 count of vehicular eluding, 3 counts of motor vehicle theft, 1 count of criminal mischief, and 1 count of vehicular assault. Ryan also had additional lesser convictions stemming from the kidnapping of 4-year-old Alan Rodriguez. Now, it was to be expected that Ryan was going to get a good deal of prison time for his carjacking rampage, but few expected the degree that this judge was going to bury Ryan during his sentencing. The maximum sentence for carjacking in the state of Colorado is 12 years, but the court was dealing with a hardened criminal with an expansive record. Ryan was a repeat offender and habitual criminal with a long rap sheet spanning decades. The recent carjacking's just another example of his antisocial tendencies. Taking Ryan's criminal history and apparent lack of remorse in consideration, on October 30th of 2015, the judge would sentence 30-year-old Ryan Stone to serve 160 years in prison. He would have a chance for parole after 75 years served. The once braggadocious car thief could be seen crying as he faced the reality that the rest of his life would now be spent behind bars. On YouTube, the Grand Theft Auto in real-life car chase is viewed by thousands of people every day. And I would imagine that most people don't know the real story and ascribe some romanticized backstory to it. A lot of folks who stumble across this video think that he was just an unstable guy like obsessed with Grand Theft Auto and wanted to perpetrate it in the real world. Or perhaps they think the perpetrator was someone akin to an individual like Richard Russell, aka the Sky King, the depressed airport employee that stole a passenger aircraft for a final joyride. But Ryan Stone is no Richard Russell. Ryan was essentially a career criminal, a menace to society with a history of drug abuse. He had no clear motivation to commit this crime, but considering that toxicology report, it's in my opinion that fueling that alleged meth addiction could have been a contributing factor here. There was nothing honorable or praiseworthy regarding what he did. Creating a dramatic police chase may be a compelling watch for those after the fact, but it was a nightmare for everyone involved when it happened. March 12th of 2014, a day in Denver that will be remembered in perpetuity as the day their city became Grand Theft Auto in real life. But that, my friends, was the story of Ryan Stone's rampage across Denver. Let me know what you guys thought about this video down below in the comment section, and let me know who or what you want me to talk about next. Slap like on the video. Love all of you. I want to give a major shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys. Wavy Web Surf out. Peace.